Exactly. You already know.
Yeah, I feel
Speaking
that.
of,
Well,
I'm gonna go grab a sody.
a sody. You've been watching too much of my 600-pound life, buddy. We should be live.
No, I don't need. I don't need one. I don't need one.
Oh, you're good, but yeah, I was gonna say it says we're live, but YouTube hasn't alerted me to it yet. There it is. Ah, that takes forever.
Shit. I don't know if you just saw me jump, but I switched over to my headphones and it was just your voice blew my eardrums out.
What?
Ah! It did it again. It's so loud.
It's so loud, man. Welcome everyone. We are here, of course, to talk about Dragon Ball Daima, which has it's over, right? Episode 20 was it?
Mhm.
Yes, sir. It's over.
Okay,
Dynamo.
that's why I mean, oh, I should have known that because I just watched it. It's a pretty
Yeah.
clear-cut ending. Well, no, I didn't. I got confused because Eric actually saved my butt here because I finished episode 19 through Netflix and I was like, wait a minute, there's another episode? Ah, damn. And he's like, no, 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 you got to watch the finale. And then he sent it to me on it
Facebook.
may well, I mean, is it really pirating if it's come out in Japan?
I don't know.
Yeah, it still technically is, but you know what? It is what it is.
Well, get your act together, Netflix. Somebody else has translated it. We got a show to do,
Hmm.
damn it. I don't condone it, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Anyway, this podcast is brought to you tonight by our friends at the Spur of the Moment podcast and by our other friends at Again and Forever. Both of them rock, just in different ways, and we'll hear a little bit about both of them here as the show goes on. But overall, what would you guys give an overall letter grade to Dragon Ball Daima as a show?
C minus.
That yeah,
8.25.
8.25%.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow, that bad, huh?
Well, no, like on a scale of one to
8.5 out
ten.
of
Oh, out of
10.
10, out of 10.
Out of 10, I'd say 7.
I'm gonna be honest. See, this is hard for me because there are a lot of things that I liked about it. Like I liked a lot about it, and then there's some stuff that I just hated. And I feel like the hate really outweighs the good, but I don't want to sound like I'm cutting it up too bad because there's plenty of good. It's the story that gets me. The animation's awesome. The fight scenes are generally good, although there's a severe lack of stakes in this series that just even though the action is good, it makes all the fight scenes feel a little flat just because I mean, none of the fights really mean anything, you know?
Yeah,
I mean, the last
but
one does, but Goma's been such a cartoon character up to this point that it's really difficult to take him seriously just because he got bigger, you
Well,
know?
it was kind of like what was the Infusion Reborn, or what was
Jamemba.
it, Fusion Jamemba, Janimba.
See, but that was different. That had stakes because Jamemba was wrecking shit.
Was a goofy character and then he turned into a badass.
Right, that was done way better though, and that was also a movie, so we didn't sit through 20 episodes of the. I think the best way I can describe Dragon Ball, how I feel about Dragon Ball Daima is it was too much OG Dragon Ball, and I'll explain what I mean by that. Because OG Dragon Ball was great because when it needed to be, it was serious. It had a lot of fun, had a lot of gags, but when it needed to be serious, it turned it on a dime. Whereas Daima, to me, was always kind of silly, even in the middle of a fight, even in the middle of what should have been a high stakes live or die battle. It's still kind of because they were still doing like the tag team stuff where it's like, oh, it's my turn, and
All right, it was 20 episodes,
yeah.
so therefore it's like not a whole lot to get a bunch of story in. So I kind of agree with you, but um, Goku actually called everyone to fight Goma once he realized. So like when you said that they didn't take it seriously, I
Well,
think they
but
did get pretty serious then
they did, but
because
then when they
they
got
realized how powerful Goma was. Like because it wasn't necessarily his power; he was powerful, but his stamina because he was able to take a beating and then come right back.
right, and that was where I honestly started kind of digging it because I was like, okay, at least Goku gets it. But then when they become adults again, he was like, ah, let's go back to tag team.
Well, because he also had something up his sleeve. Once
yeah,
again.
but for the love of God, how come they never learn from Frieza? Like the Frieza thing. I mean, I guess you know
What hasn't happened yet? Are you
Yeah, it
talking
has.
about Frieza in his new form? Or
Yeah, that's happened already, hasn't it?
no.
Wait, hang on. Which Frieza event? Because
Not Frieza on Namek, but like obviously that Frieza is dead and in hell,
yeah,
right?
No,
Yeah.
my apologies. I didn't mean to sound confusing. Just Frieza in general. You
yeah,
need to take out your enemies quickly.
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
Lesson
yeah.
one.
It's
You
yeah.
need to
No
send
20
him.
episodes later, and some guys
Yeah,
yelling at me.
you need to send him straight to Hiffle. But yeah, you're right, Justin.
If
Continuity continuity in Dragon Ball. The points are made up and the rules don't matter.
the last two episodes
Boy,
of Daima were cool. Yeah,
that
dude.
whose line is it anyway, bro? That's one of the best shows ever made.
I
And
agree.
ironically, it makes more sense than some episodes of Dragon Ball Daima.
I'd like to meet
For
someone
real.
outside the family.
Oh
I
gosh.
agree. I agree with a lot of what you said, Jake, but um the action scenes, bro, those were
That's
fire. I
that's what I'm
mean, they
saying.
were fire.
I
The
hit
camera
I
panning.
Yeah, I hit 3 points as I was watching the series where I was literally about to stop because I'm like I'm just not feeling it. I'm getting a little bored. And then they throw out a really awesome fight scene and I'm like, "Ah, shit. I'm back. I'm back in."
I
But
Then
was
I
it
so
just
mean,
bored until they
became
got to the Tagamis.
yeah, but then it became fan service real fast.
Yeah.
see,
We
people
get
have a problem with fan service. I'm
I
completely okay with it.
I'm fine with it, and I want to be crystal clear about something. At no point am I saying that you should not enjoy Daima if it's your deal. Like absolutely. And the show's beautiful.
Enjoy it.
Yeah,
But at the same
exactly.
time, dude, how the hell is Super Saiyan 4 gonna roll into
It's not.
Super now?
Well,
Because
it
no, it's a
can't.
continuation. They've literally come out and said this, and now we have to wait on them to come out and be like whether how they're going to
No, no, no.
basically patch it in
Daima takes place
after Majin
before,
Buu,
yeah, but before
before
Super.
Super. So
So,
how in the world are they going to have Super Saiyan 4 when Goku already tried to show all his Super Saiyan things to Beerus? So that's what I'm saying. Like, how is the continuity gonna like
well,
transpire?
not only that, why didn't Vegeta bust out Super Saiyan 3 against Beerus? You know,
That's what I meant.
these are questions that and let's not pretend that Dragon Ball isn't full of retcons and like from day one.
Well,
It's just a thing, but
I think I can explain the Super Saiyan 3 Beerus away because the thing is, Goku wouldn't think, hey, I know I have my Super Saiyan 4 technique, but like this guy's pretty, he doesn't look powerful, so maybe he's just gonna be like, oh, I didn't use it. I had it, but I didn't say I was gonna use it.
Yeah,
And then he got smacked.
but
that's a pretty good one.
well, but
It,
it's
I mean,
in
still
my
that's
opinion,
how
though,
they could do it.
it still doesn't make sense though. And going back to Vegeta, right? Because I know what some people are going to say. Okay, here, so that this explanation makes sense. We're going to pretend for a minute that Dragon Ball Super hasn't happened yet, just so I can lay the foundation for the logic that people might use, but is instantly defeatable. So you could make the case that
Yeah, we know,
Goku,
Justin.
right? You can make the case that let's say Goku can't use Super Saiyan 4 outside of the demon realm. That could actually work. Or at least he hasn't
That's
figured
I
out.
lame.
was just
It
about to
That's
say that,
lame.
bro.
it is, but hear me out. So they've kind of already this sounds silly because Ultra Instinct takes place past this. There's a precedent for Goku having at least not mastered it yet. So maybe he can't maybe it's not even though the end of Daima suggests that Goku had it on tap, but
Okay,
anyway.
I noticed something, and I'll explain it. Neva, the Namekian, he actually did something similar to what Guru did to Krillin
But
and Gohan. So he released a bit of Goku's latent power, so he was able to actually transform this time because he said he's been
maybe,
working on
yeah.
the transformation.
Okay,
Well,
yeah,
he said
that's
if you read or if you listened, he
yeah.
said he was been working on it, and so he said that he wasn't sure if it was going to work, but once
Yeah.
Neva released potent what is it energies, so he was able to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Loose.
sorry.
So no, you're fine. But specifically Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta's logic. You can make the case, and they showed this in Daima, that Vegeta, and this has kind of been the headcanon of many a Dragon Ball fan for years. The reason why Vegeta never even bothered with Super Saiyan 3 is because he understood that it's too big of a drain on stamina, and it just doesn't make sense for him. However, in a fight against Beerus, that's your trump card. Who gives a shit?
Yep.
Like it either works or it doesn't. If you're in a long drawn out fight with Beerus, it doesn't matter. That's your Hail Mary. So that doesn't make sense. And now, what what do you mean, Justin?
What's
A
up?
very reasonable explanation.
He was talking about me, fool. You just cut me off.
Oh, my bad. My bad. My bad. But now, when you throw in the fact that Goku has flat out said he's been working on a new form, it wasn't a Demon World exclusive transformation, and Vegeta has used Super Saiyan 3 multiple times. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to roll this in. I just,
I wonder if maybe energy is a little different there in the demon realm. Like you remember how they said in the afterlife. I mean, considering they're still alive, but the
I
demon
think
realm is
that's
not
it.
really demon realm is not really a dead
No.
like type of afterlife. It's just another reality.
Yeah.
With the Super Saiyan 3 thing with Vegeta, I know this excuse is kind of
I
lame,
agree with you,
but
Justin. Yeah, absolutely.
he um he reacted. Vegeta didn't plan it out. He got enraged and just turned into the best form that he could. He didn't have time to go Super Saiyan 3 because it's not his favorite form. He hasn't really taken the time to master it like Goku has. So he just reacted, and that's the most powerful he could have gotten in.
You
That's
could tell
true.
he was somewhat disgusted by it. Like he
Yeah.
didn't want to do it.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
and you can make the case because it's pretty obvious because Goku fights way better than Vegeta does in terms of stamina in Super Saiyan 3 because he's practiced it, you know. And
Yeah.
it's the same thing they talk about Super Saiyan Blue about it being a drain on stamina, and they do this more so in the manga, but they touch on it in the anime, but as they keep using it, they figure out how to not necessarily conserve energy, but they
Wasn't
figure
it
it out.
Vegeta? Wasn't it Vegeta who was doing that in the Tournament of Power? In the anime, not the manga.
He was doing it in both, actually. They do it more in the manga. And the fight go when Goku fights Hit in the Champa versus Beerus tournament.
Mhm.
In the anime, he's just doing Super Saiyan Blue and Kaioken. In the manga, he's actually flipping back and forth between Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue.
Dude, Super Saiyan Blue and Kaioken was still so sick.
It's sick.
Like
I'm not
when he's just like, hey, 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 hey,
by the way, speaking
oh,
of screaming, I do want to point out and give a shout out to Masako Nozawa. Still got it.
No, like for real. Like it only happened in the movie with Goku turning Super Saiyan 3 against Janemba,
Hmm.
but that top notch, that top as loud as you can scream is really hard to replicate. And she still got it. You are right. Like the screams that they did in the transformations for Daima was only matched by the Janemba transformation, like going all out. That was awesome.
got
I
to give Sean Schimmel his just due though because the dude's passed out in the booth
Yeah.
screaming.
hey,
Ah!
Yep.
Super Saiyan 4 too.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't.
Well, I
In
think that's when he did.
Yeah, that's when he passed out.
I just felt for
yeah.
Sean Schimmel's vocal cords. Oh, dude, like no, if you do it right, it's all
Nah,
right.
he's got the technique. That's why he can keep. God damn, how long's he been playing Goku? Shit.
That's how metal screamers are. Like,
Yeah,
everyone thinks
like
that they're blowing their
20.
vocal cords out. I'm like, no, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Well, here's another thing too, guys. Think about this. We and y'all value the shows for different reasons than I do. See, I'm the Dragon Ball debater on the internet, so I love the fan service that they give me a whole bunch of cool feats to be able to work with and stuff. You know, to like so remember during the final fight between Goku and I can't
Goma.
Goma.
Goma. Um, he broke the universal barrier just like he did with Broly
Hmm.
whenever they were fighting. So it's
The
quite
comment,
possible
yeah.
that he has to keep Super Saiyan 4 under wraps and not on Earth because the Earth literally can't handle it. It's like his Kamehameha burst through dimensions, burst through other universes. So if
Well,
he
hold
gives
on a
out that
second.
kind of
I don't
power,
think it. I'm sorry. I don't think he bursted through another dimension. I think he bursted through to the next realm
Yeah,
because
I
they're
think so.
aren't they just separated by waters?
Waters or Earth or something. Yeah, I think you might. They don't say it though, but
Yeah.
either way, that might be plausible. So that's a good point. Because
Now,
they
if he
do.
blew through to the outer, that would be
Yeah,
wild.
yeah. Well, there's a reason they had to have the tournament of power in the void because they knew,
right?
hey, if these people want to cut loose, they can't like they're going to destroy matter as we know it if they really go for it out there. But to your point about fan service, don't get me wrong. I like fan service, and I think when it's done well, it's really rewarding. It's a reward for the fans, right? But and this isn't you, but there are people on the internet that are praising Dragon Ball Daima right now, and we're cutting up Dragon Ball Hero Superheroes, the
Yeah.
promotional anime series. And
Mhm.
the only thing I want to say to those people is at least Dragon Ball Superheroes never claimed to be anything but a fun fan service anime that only existed to show you all those fan theory transformations that we never got to see, and now you get to see Golden Cooler, the various. What didn't Vegeta turn Super Saiyan 3 and no, I think that was Xenoverse. Never mind.
But yeah, you're right. As long as you're upfront and honest about it, if you're self-aware, which Japan is slowly starting to become better at, even though
Yeah.
they don't do their marketing very good still. But everyone accepts it, doesn't really have a problem with it, if you just own up to it.
Yeah, and what I gave credit to Dragon Ball Superheroes for from day one, I was like, okay, you see Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Goku fighting each other. I'm like, this project knows exactly what it is, and it's dialing this shit up to 20. Like,
Yes.
second episode, you've got that dream fight like right there.
But
So I was like, okay, this will be fun.
speaking of Super Saiyan 4 though, I since this still has to I'm beating a dead horse here. Since it still has to tie into Super, you know what this means though, right? Super Saiyan 4 is not as powerful, or like Sosa said, it's too powerful for, our reality. But at the same time, then he would essentially, you'd think he would use that against like maybe trying to spar with the Grand Priest or something. So that's why I don't think it's there's going to be something. There's going to be something to happen, and he's not going to be able to transform. Like there had to have been something special about this
I think it's
specific
probably because Neva
transformation.
died.
Maybe. Or
Not
Never
that he has
died.
yet, but when he does, they'll probably lose the ability.
yeah. Or
I wonder.
here's another theory. This and I know that Toei has said this is canon, but Toei said GT was canon at the
I
time
figured
too.
it out. I figured it out.
Well, this is a different timeline.
Neva
This
gave him
this
demon energy. So he was
maybe.
able to, because the thing is, he was red. Like, just because of how GT explained how he became Super Saiyan 4 doesn't mean that's the actual explanation. So this
Well,
could, he was working on a transformation, but yet it was probably a Super Saiyan transformation, not this
yeah,
like Super Saiyan 4.
right. Well,
I know he
I
calls it that, but
every time we discuss Dragon Ball, I go into my rant about canon, but for those who haven't heard it yet, I'll just so Dragon Ball has already toyed with multiverse theory as far back as the Trunks arc. And then honestly, Dragon Ball Super confirmed it, and then Dragon Ball Xenoverse hit you in the face with it. So everything in Dragon Ball is canon. There are just multiple timelines. There's, the what we call like the OG timeline that and it just splinters. That's like trying to reconcile Halloween 2 with the
Toriyama
continuation.
said they're all side stories of the main story, so it's okay.
Well, but I mean, that's what I'm
That's
saying. Like
exactly what
in
he said.
Xenoverse, it is established that there is at least a Goku who now works for the Time Patrol. So,
Patrol.
Patrol. Oh, wow, you froze. That was really cool looking. But so everybody who's arguing about canon, and I know that we're not arguing about it, we're discussing it. The fact of the matter is they can't integrate it with Super, so let's just call it what it is. Is this is a fun little side story that's a separate timeline. That's why Super Saiyan 4 has red hair in this one. In the GT timeline, he had black hair because he achieved it a different way. And I still maintain it shouldn't be called Super Saiyan 4 at all. It should be called something else because it's a totally different transformation. But nobody listens to that, so ah,
Yeah, but honestly, GT's way of bringing it out, like pulling it out of his spine and this and that, and had Blitz waves and this other garbage.
it made sense, dude. It made way more sense. But that's why I
It
make
was
the
so
argument.
lame. That's why I didn't care for GT as much, because I was like, that's doing too much. I was like, you have to have an outside source in order to transform. That's why I
Well,
kind
yes,
of
but the Saiyans
not
do.
upset with Super Saiyan God, but I mean,
Well, but the Super Saiyan. I'm sorry. The Saiyans need an outside force to transform into an Ozaru anyway. So it's the same thing, just
well, the
with
moon, that's I wouldn't, I mean, yeah,
that's
it's
where
an
the
outside
Blutz
source, but
waves.
it's something they what is it? Evolution. Yeah, they
Yeah, but those are Blutz waves. That's what's coming from the moon.
I
And they've
know, and
got
I
the
understand
gland,
that.
and they've got the gland in their tail.
I'm just saying it was natural. You know, they
Oh
got the
yeah, but
gland in their tail.
hey, I mean, it made more sense than
Super Saiyan's taking supplements.
oh,
They
so
should
Super
make a
Saiyan.
supplement called Blutz Waves. $1 million idea.
Our people will call you pure
we
unfiltered
we we got the rights
testosterone.
on it. We're patenting it right now.
We get a cease and desist later from Toei. It's like, you pay us now.
The lag on the Zoom is particularly bad today.
Yeah, it varies. It's even worse on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Well, yeah, the delay we have, it's like it can range from anywhere to like just a couple seconds to damn near it seems like 15. It's wild.
Oh wow. I was just
Yeah.
pointing that out, but I got another thing for Super Saiyan 4, why Goku, didn't use it, or Vegeta or something like that. Like, I'm more than willing to bet, and this is like a fact, if you just do basic power scaling, even Omen Ultra Instinct is above Super Saiyan 4.
Yeah.
So, but do you remember when Goku went Omen and transformed, the yells, like the monkey power that was almost shown
You cutting
directly
out.
on screen, but definitely inferred? I bet that Ultra Instinct is just like a perfected form channeling all that power. That's where Goku gets the higher power, but then the ability to do the Ultra Instinct move, because they're not one and the same. Being able to do Ultra Instinct is a technique, but you need the power to back it up. So
Right.
that's just channeled into the form.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably true. Well, before we dive more into Daima, we want to give you guys a little word from our good friends at the Spur of the Moment podcast. And Justin's actually in the chat. So, Justin, this one's for you, buddy.
So today's episode is sponsored by the Spur of the Moment podcast, everybody. Come join us every Saturday, and we're going to do this. We're going to sit here. We're going to talk about the news. Time to talk about the Minecraft.
Okay.
It looks
So,
bad. So we're going to talk about movies. That new Joker movie is apparently terrible, and I want to see it so badly because I hear it's awful. We're going to make some jokes. We're going to have some laughs.
There's a lot of funny jokes in there. There's a lot of weird jokes in there. The Channing Tatum one will always make me laugh, especially when you hear the behind the scenes stuff. Like when you hear the behind the scenes story of how they just phoned them up.
We're occasionally going to have other people along for the ride.
A really fun fact, though, is I learned last year that that Coraline was Leica and not Disney.
Oh, interesting. I mean, I can see why you would make that
Yeah.
mistake. Yeah. Because it does seem like it's a different. And to be fair,
That would be a horrifying, terrible Disney movie.
it would be because yeah. And we're just gonna have a generally good time. George, do you have anything else you want to say about our podcast? Make people watch it.
We watch movies. Sometimes we watch shows, but we always have fun.
Here
On the
man,
spur, on the
the
spur,
spur.
3, 2, 1. On the spur of the podcast moment.
Yeah, we nailed it. Nailed
Spur
it.
of the moment podcast.
Yeah. It's Spur of the Moment podcast every Saturday. We nailed it.
You can expect awesome content like that.
We cut flawless promos every single week.
Welcome back.
Well, if you enjoy overanalyzation of pop culture, check out our friends at the Spur of the Moment podcast. But Sosa said something, and of course I've already forgotten it, so hopefully you didn't forget it. About the
What, the hot
story.
take?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
hot take.
Oh, the hot take. I actually think that the story in Super is superior to the Daima story.
Agreed.
I was gonna say we all agree with you. There's gonna be some in the comments with no, because like reasons. Because as I said, the YouTube comment section is full of nuance and well thought out and constructed arguments, and not full of morons. But
Short busters.
Short busters.
Yeah, that's
But
my way of being able to say, the bad names. I got a code name for everything now that YouTube don't penalize me.
Buster. I like that. You don't walk very far, do you, son? Anyway, um, but yeah, and then the other thing we were talking about was as in vogue as it is to kind of shit on Dragon Ball Super, which I don't know where that came from. Well, actually, I do. It's probably the first few animation gaps, and then everybody was like, "Oh, this totally sucks." Um, Ultra Instinct, the first transformation, that thing was a cultural event. So,
Absolutely.
It broke
like,
the internet.
yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing: Daima Super Saiyan 4 kinda was, but it was mostly confusion from what I saw.
Yeah. Yeah, Justin, there's Daima's just it's okay. Like, don't get me wrong, the last few episodes were really great, but like for the most part, it was just kind of like a long drawn out, boring story that wasn't really
It felt
anything crazy because everybody was pretty much good.
there's that, but then also the fact that it was just two Dragon Ball, and the thing of it is, Dragon Ball works when Goku actually has legitimate competition on planet Earth, but no one in this story stood a chance against them, and they made that clear from the outset. The only reason Goma put up a fight was his stamina. If he didn't have endless stamina, they would have wrecked his shit.
Well,
Like,
yeah, of course.
nobody was a
Type
threat.
of plot armor.
And I kind of knew this series was gonna not be all that stellar in terms of story when they introduced Majin Buu and had him fight for the Dragon
Dude,
Ball.
no. Majin Ku and Majin Du were literal comedy. Like
That's my
they
point.
they were fun in my I enjoyed it, dude. When
They
Majin
were.
Du had the Super Saiyan 3 hair, that
No,
was comical. That was hilarious.
That's my point though, because here's the thing: when they're building up for Majin Buu, right? They're making it sound like, oh, this thing's gonna be terrible. We got to be careful. We can't make this thing too powerful. And then this fucking dork shows up, who is, let's face facts, he's way weaker than Majin Buu. And
But he's
then,
smart.
yeah, I'll give you that, but it's played for
He was
laughs.
shifty. Yeah.
It's played for laughs, and the thing of it is, this series for me, because of what we've gone through with Dragon Ball Z, even though it's not counted as canon with Dragon Ball GT and elements of Dragon Ball Super, which brought back some of the silly, but they're fighting literal gods at this point, right? So Dragon Ball Daima is all fun and comedy. That's what I mean. Like, none of the fights have any stakes because everybody is just so OP in the demon realm. And it's real cute when Glorio thinks he can fight Goku with his little magic thing. And I'm just like, oh, son, you're. And don't get me wrong, I actually enjoyed that fight sequence, but Goku just nerfs him. Like, Super Saiyan, base Goku would have won, but Super Saiyan Kid Goku just one-shotted him, and it was over. It's.
Glorio was like Yamcha in the second world tournament.
Yeah, the amount of
in
power,
OGDG.
the amount of power that turning into a kid did on their bodies, though, it was a significant amount. So
Yeah,
Glorio was
because
talking all this mad crap, thinking about that he stood a chance, and Goku was like 2% as powerful as he was before, and he still got whooped.
And stood a foot over him. Like once he
Right.
became
Yeah,
an adult again.
See, I think Daima suffers from, and don't get me wrong, I understand why they did it because you can't have a super long series in the demon realm. Well, I mean, you could frankly, with more writers and a little bit more. It depends on the feel you're wanting to go for. What I would have liked to have seen in hindsight is, because they were turned into kids, they would have to relearn all those transformations and they rediscover them over time. Like, they acclimate to their smaller bodies, they get used to the energy flow, because they sort of hint at it in episode 1, but then it kind of goes away until the plot needs it to be difficult.
Well, you don't really forget how to ride a bike if you break a leg.
Actually, you do. You absolutely do. As
You actually can, yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's not that it's not that you forget how to ride a bike. It's that you forget you don't know how
Yeah.
to do it with your broken self. So I mean, yeah, you do have to relearn it over again, but it's not the same as like their transformations. They know the stupid itch on the back or whatever.
Right.
Oh my
Or,
god.
not the itch, but the spot. That was the worst explanation
Yeah.
for Super
Well,
Saiyan.
yeah.
It's whatever.
Okay, maybe I take back a little bit
Yeah, I
of what I
was
said
gonna
about
say,
Daima compared to Super.
Yeah.
Oh
No,
my
that's
god, that
solid.
was
You can find
cringe.
stuff to hate on. It's okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, my back is tingling. Ah!
Yeah. When you said that, I was like, ah, damn it.
Well,
Well, no,
there's so much in Super we forget.
right. But to be fair, no, like now granted, the second time I had my knee operated on, I recovered a lot faster. But the first time, I literally, yeah, I had to relearn how to walk basically. Like I knew how to do it, but the leg just wasn't cooperating. It was like because I hadn't done it for so long, it's like the brain couldn't fire the neurons properly. So I just had to, which you're talking like maybe a week tops, but
See
still, it's weird.
that's what I meant. It's semantics. Like literally, you didn't forget how to walk. Your body wouldn't let you.
That yeah, but that's what I'm alluding to. I think it would
I
have been
know.
more. I think it would have just been more interesting. It also would have been more interesting that way because Piccolo could have potentially had a little bit more to do if they were all on not equal footing necessarily, but closer. But Piccolo is still like, why do you even come? It, he didn't
Because he
do
because
anything.
because he's going to the demon realm, and
I
I'm
get
assuming
it.
they knew he was Namekian.
And
Yeah, I
Piccolo's
get it.
cool.
I get
And
that. What I'm
Piccolo's
saying
cool.
is, I would have like, why didn't Piccolo get a fight from one of the Dragon Balls? That's all I'm saying.
Dude, you didn't like the Aurelia episode? I love that.
Oh
That
God,
was such a good kickback.
it was fun. Actually, now that I think about it, it would have been
Doctor
interesting.
Slump.
It would have been interesting to have Piccolo get a power boost because he went to the Demon Realm, and for at least a couple episodes, him being the strongest
Bro,
one, that would have been cool.
bro.
God
Yeah. I
Piccolo.
think they would have done that if he hadn't gotten his own movie with Gohan recently.
Fair
Yeah.
enough, yeah. And we got Orange Piccolo.
Yeah, I
Well, and
mean
actually,
that's a power boost.
do you think they wrote Hero before they started writing Daima? Like, I
Yeah,
know that's a dumb question, but I was told that Hero was written like a long time before Super as well.
hmm
So,
Yeah, Hero was prepared for a long time. I don't have an exact date, but I think they've been working on that since like 2017 or 18.
that's
yeah.
crazy.
I imagine it, certainly after the success of the Broly movie, if they didn't
But
already
it
have it
still
in the
worked out.
works. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I sincerely believe that Majin Buu and Majin Ku are good characters. Some people didn't like them. I
They
liked
are.
them.
No, they
And
are. Like,
I liked how they incorporated finally a team aspect to be able to get everyone involved. Everyone had a good part.
mhm.
I thought dude was going to be evil. I thought he was going to be straight evil, and he ended up being the softy who just like chocolate chip cookies.
Well, I mean, let's be fair. Chocolate chip cookies are awesome.
Well,
Yeah, but
yeah,
it
I
literally
mean,
made him stronger.
I mean
I will
that
admit I chuckled at that. I was like, God, if only, right?
that's
I
what
just,
we give
I
our that. Sorry, I was about
no,
to
you're
say
good. You're
that's
good.
what we give our women whenever we want them to calm down and not be evil to us. We give them chocolate.
Aphrodisiacs.
Yep,
Are you saying that just because they're chocolate chips? Aphrodisiac.
basically, yeah. But I liked their battles with the Tamagamis and everything. I thought it was pretty cool. It is a little bit sillier, but it's a very very important thing that if you're going to be doing a team battle, that you have an additional two characters that are hacked out to the max, can just regenerate at any point in time, even if they're not like as powerful, that they can just go and get stuff and get a power boost with a cookie if need be. Like
Yeah.
Bulma can supply an unlimited amount. Like I can only imagine that. Like imagine him getting like a cookie the size of the Earth, and he ate it all, and then he was able to almost beat Beerus. Like that'd be
Then
cool.
yeah, then he gets a tail. Super Saiyan
Yeah.
4 hair. Super Saiyan 4
uh,
hands.
hold on. I've got a big plot hole. Not really a big plot hole, but kind of not really sub. But anyway,
Only one.
so when they became adults again and their stamina was kind of shot,
Hmm.
can't Dende restore energy like a sensu bean ish?
Well, that's the first plot hole of the series is Dende's age. They aged him down
I,
because they needed him to, now I know why they did it, because they needed Dende to become a baby so that they had to
no,
go
no,
to the
no, no, no,
demon
no.
realm.
He is a baby, dude. Think about it. Because the thing is, Nick Piccolo is only like what, 8, 9,
Right, but
maybe
Piccolo didn't get aged down
15.
to Piccolo didn't
Well,
get
no, that
aged down to a baby.
I think they just gave them. Yeah, why did they do that? They just gave them children bodies. So are they insinuating Dende's still not full grown?
Correct. Yeah, but they aged him down. blah, 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 blah. In the Boo arc, it's established that Dende is maybe not quite I'd consider him an adult because he's implied to be close to Gohan's age, and Gohan is again not an adult, but close.
I
He's
always thought that
close.
he was like 18, like when he was in that kind of teenage form body. I always thought he was like 18.
He would have been at least 16 because he was enrolled in high school. Now, as far as how far along he was, so anywhere between 16 to 18, yeah, he would have been.
Mhm.
So
That's
actually,
just the
Teen
vibe he
Gohan.
gives off.
Well, not at the beginning of the arc, but certainly by the time he gets Ultimate, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I
Chocolate chip
meant.
Yeah.
cookies
Yeah,
for
yeah, I know.
breakfast. Absolutely.
Bro. All right, I've been waiting on this one, and a lot of people were not that happy about it. They thought it ruined Vegeta's character, and most people were pretty cool about it. But I'd say about a third of the fan base was rabid about it. But I honestly like it. I really, really do.
I know what you're
really
talking
do.
about. It was
Are
funny,
you
and I
gonna say
enjoyed
what I'm
it.
gonna say? Oh, it was amazing. You
What?
better get down here. I'm not taking a
Yeah.
bath with you.
Yeah.
Here's
Bulma
the
set
thing.
his ass out.
Here's my hot take. If you're insulted by that, I don't think you've
You
ever taken a
suck.
bath with a woman before.
And you have never had Bulma or looked up her pictures online either. Like I don't blame him at all.
Nope. I'd have quit fighting.
Dude,
I mean, imagine
If
all
my
the
girl
fun
said
toys they have access to,
Oh my
with
God.
her being so rich. Like he ain't giving that up for nothing. Like
Well,
that
he's got
big jacuzzi bath. Imagine how monstrous that thing is.
hey, Remus was trying to get in there. I think that's how you say his name, Remus or Remus, whatever.
Remus.
Yeah.
Remus. Dude,
Yeah,
he
he's
was
trying
like,
to get in
I'll
there.
make you my girlfriend. But seriously, how did the motherfucker have? How did the dude literally have the eye on his
It's okay. You
belt
already
and
said it.
didn't know? Like, come on.
Well,
Like,
he's
it's obviously
clearly
an eye that's alive. That's just weird.
he's clearly not that intelligent. And remember, in the demon world, they eat power-up bugs, so
Oh, I hated that character. He was so annoying.
he was.
Like,
Mhm.
oh,
I'm not gonna lie, I
I know
hated the
why they
bugs.
did it, but nah,
How did- how
like
did-
F that.
Yeah, how did you guys
Dude,
feel about the
what was a
bugs?
giant squid?
Oh, the Kraken?
Oh, the Kraken. Yeah. Dude, the Kraken. Like, he was so chill. Like, did you see like when he was laying in the back of the like there was like a shot, it was an overview, and it was just the Kraken just laying in the water like this.
Well, I mean,
He was just chilling.
nobody's gonna fuck with the Kraken.
Yeah, except those giants on that one planet.
Well, yeah, that's true.
That,
But
that was pretty crazy.
no, I
Well, they're
gotta
so powerful. Like,
yeah.
like it didn't make much sense of power scaling.
Well, oh God, never. This entire series
It's
made no
Dragon
sense.
Ball.
Yeah, power levels are bullshit. You, Namekian, too strong. Explain.
Sorry, 1 second.
No,
Yeah,
you're
keep
good.
going.
Oh, what's up,
Game
Hydro?
over.
No, I have to ask because this is one aspect of the show that I thought was going to lead somewhere and honestly led nowhere was the introduction of the bugs. Because I know they had the stamina bugs and the fusion, but they mentioned a fusion bug, and I was like, oh, are we going to get.
That's foreshadowing.
But there was never a
Mm.
fusion.
It's gonna come
And-
later.
Is there going to be
Oh,
more
they're
Daima?
talking about continuing Daima?
I hope
No,
not.
no, that's just gonna come at a future plot point. 2 arcs down the road, they're going to be out of senzu beans. They're going to be
Ah.
out of Portara earrings. They're
No
going to be
dancing
too
shoes?
tired.
They're
Huh?
not going to wear their dancing shoes.
Right? Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Bulma is going to remember that she has one of them bugs at the house right next to her, skin bugs, or
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and
Well,
then
she
she's
also
going
got some
to
of that
feed.
graphite or whatever it was.
Yeah. And then she's going to feed it, and she's going to feed it to Vegeta and Goku or Gohan or something else, and the day will be saved, again.
If that does
by the
happen, I will
way-
forgive it.
Yeah. And by the way, I mean, yeah, I think the foreshadowing is obvious. But by the way, I am so glad that we are not going to be getting any more of Bulma using the Dragon Balls to wish herself younger. That shit drove me nuts. It's insane. I hated it, but
Yeah.
at least that's over now.
It was more so in the
Well-
manner in which she did it because it's like why be that specific? Why not just be like, hey, shave off 10 years? You
Or
know what
hey,
you
why
looked
not
like
just
then.
say keep me youthful until I
Oh yeah,
die?
there you go. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. You can always wish for immortality.
See, yeah,
Yeah, but I think I don't think that Bulma would want to be like immortal though. I don't think that would
No,
really fit with her character.
I
she
think
knows
she
the
just wants
afterlife.
to.
She knows the afterlife exists, so I
Yeah,
can't
I
call
think
it
she just wants to
afterlife.
say.
That's
I
a
think
good
she just.
point.
Yeah, she just wants to stay ahead of the curve. Is all.
Right, exactly. But
People who know the
I,
afterlife exists are more comfortable.
I'm glad that we didn't have Chi Chi too much in this because I can't stand her character either. I hate her. I hate her.
I think Bulma and Goku made more sense.
Oh, not at all.
Dude, they would have been all over the universe exploring.
I get what you mean, but I still prefer the way they kept it. You know, the par Goku already had Chi-Chi, and Bulma complements Vegeta super well. Like someone who still
Yeah,
has that feminine energy, but is enough to like, boss him around and stuff. But
Yeah, Bulma's
he's
got
not,
that dog.
he wasn't ashamed either. Like when that scene, he's not ashamed. He wasn't
Nope.
like, oh my God, you're embarrassing me, woman. He was just like, nope, the cheeks are bomb. No, you go ahead.
Well, no, it's literally like
woman, drink me a Klein cloth at once.
I don't know if you guys watch Big Bang Theory, but the episode where the guys
Oh,
are all
hell yeah.
fight. Yeah, the episode where the guys are all fighting.
Incestuous.
What? Oh, getting yeah, that's true. But the episode where all the guys are arguing over the one ring prop, and then
Uh-huh.
Penny gets Leonard to leave because she's like, yeah, this is a bag from Victoria's Secret, and he's just like, I'm out, no shame.
Well, Justin, he's already seen all her little bits.
Yeah, that's
So
true. When do we think the Super anime will come back?
The rumor is next
20,
year.
I was gonna say
2026.
I was gonna guess next year. So
Yeah.
I
I
think it
mean,
needs to.
Geekdom doesn't have like an official confirmation on this, but that's his rumor.
I would think so, and I think that's good timing too, because I think Daima might have just been like a little bit of like, this will tide you guys over. Here's some fan service.
Well, it was also a big setup. Like a lot
Yeah,
of people were slightly disappointed, including Geekdom, about that they wanted it to be kind of like a closing resolution as a series, but no, it's just leading up into something else.
yeah, it's a setup. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's all set
And
up.
like I don't know why, like this is one of the few bad things, but and I know everyone has already said this, but how could they rush the last episode as bad as they did, even though it had really good stuff, and then give us the first 5 episodes are just the most useless druck ever. And
I
I don't get it. Like
I got it, dude. I got it.
Hmm.
The universe where Daima takes place is the universe where Zamasu takes Goku's body.
Wait,
I
okay,
like it.
let's break that down. Hold on.
Okay.
Say it again.
The universe that Daima takes place in is the same universe where Zamasu takes Goku's body. Because we got to remember, in that universe, Goku's still alive, and they show the flashback of when Zamasu kills Chi-Chi and Goten and Goku,
Hmm.
and it's at the field, which is
Hmm.
established to happen after the Majin Buu arc. So
Hmm.
So even if he knows Super Saiyan 4 and he's super powerful, he switched bodies. There's nothing he can do. And Zamasu's
yeah,
not going to know how to do that transformation.
exactly. Because Zamasu didn't even know about Super Saiyan.
Bro, that's a good idea.
That's a
That's
hell, yeah.
that's really good, man. Like I actually had to take a second to break that
Yeah.
down. I was like, wait,
Well,
hold on. That makes a lot of sense.
my mama killed all the dumbins.
That's a really
Actually,
good one, man. I like
actually,
that's gonna be one of the parts that I clip out to help promote this video when we're on.
absolutely.
Like that idea. Like that one's great.
And it makes sense because I still maintain that the Trunks that we meet in Dragon Ball Super is not the same Trunks that we met in Z. They went through the same events, but that's not the same Trunks. It's clearly not the same. For one thing, Mai's alive in his universe, so is Yajirobe. When it's established in Dragon Ball Z that Yajirobe was killed by the androids and Mai was a non-entity. She didn't get wished back into a child, so she would theoretically be very old at least, if not killed by the androids.
Didn't they explain why Yajirobe was alive in Super though? There was like a thing like he said he thought he was dead, but he wasn't.
Maybe, but
I
I
could
don't
have
know.
sworn there was.
It's just a protected retcon, you know. But I still,
Pretty
there's other several reasons. Like that's how I explain Trunks' hair color difference, his different build, unless Trunks just really let himself go, like
No,
because
dude.
he was jacked to the gills at the
Super
end of
needs to come
Z.
back looking like Super. Like I don't want to look like Daima. Like don't get me wrong, Daima's fun, but like Super, like dude, no. The animation
Yeah,
was towards
Goku's
the end,
hair. Yeah,
not the
Goku's
beginning.
hair proportions were a little bit different
His
in
face was weird, and
Daima.
then Super
Yeah,
Saiyan 4, why did he have like ridiculous
what
sausage
was with
fingers?
the
Like
hands?
his hands were this big. He's like, oh, it's sausage.
Yeah, if Team Four
What the
Star
hell
ever did,
was that?
if Team Four Star ever did a parody of Daima, they should make Super Saiyan 4 Goku sound like Sylvester Stallone. He's like,
Oh, it's true.
I don't know what happened. I just looked down. It's like, wow, my hands. Look at these things. Wow.
And I
Them
said,
four,
you do that again, I'm gonna hit you.
It's about how
them
hard you
Donkey
can
Kong
get
forearms
hit.
were ridiculous.
Right.
It was Donkey Kong 4, not Super Saiyan
Yep.
4.
I love that one meme that had the ludicrous, music video on it. Get back with the big bar. That was hilarious. I
Dude,
forgot all
I
about
was just
that.
thinking of stomping in those monster boots, dude. That just made me think of Super Saiyan 4 hands.
At least he had the foresight to tear his shirt off before he transformed because he knew what was coming.
Dude, he had PlayStation hands, PlayStation 1
He
hands.
had
Do you remember that,
PlayStation
Jake?
1. Come on.
That's a blast. Do you remember that from the lunch table? Anthony talking about PlayStation 1 hands?
Yeah.
Dude, that shit was
Ever
funny.
so slightly. Like,
Man.
I get the reference, but like, man, that was so long ago.
It was. Don't make me feel old.
Bro, I never thought the day would come where kids would come up to me and would be like, "I remember you. Like you used to go to my church when I was like 5." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh."
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Like I never thought getting old would happen to me, and I'm not even halfway there to old yet. Like I'm
Smash
not
Mouth warned
really
us,
old.
man.
What's
What's
that?
up?
I said Smash Mouth warned us. The years stop coming and they don't stop coming.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they said that it would start flying by. It really does fly by.
And you don't realize it. That's the worst part.
It's just how we perceive memories. It seems like it was just yesterday, like because the memory is instantaneous. Time is not instantaneous, but memory is instantaneous. So you're just like, oh, I remember when I was 4. It just seems like yesterday, and it's like, nah, it was 25 years ago. But
Well, the
you
only
just
thing,
remember.
guys, just remember this: Dragon Ball is 41 years old.
Dragon Ball's older than me. Let's go.
1984, baby, when it was first published. That's
I can't believe it's that old.
yeah. That's why. Obviously not for us because we all discovered it by 1996 at the earliest. But still, that's 29 years.
Yeah.
It's not a short time.
We had it at about the time they were doing GT, I think, right?
I think, yeah, actually,
We started to just
the first run, yeah, the first run, not even the Toonami run, but the first run, yeah, because GT started in 1996, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
I think so.
that sounds right.
I
Yeah,
kind of know my shit.
I will say
Well-
that the Super Saiyan 4 design in GT is still slightly superior,
I
even though this
agree.
one was cool too.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it was more colorful in this one. It was more like vibrant, and in Super Saiyan 4 and GT was like solid. It looked
Yeah, I get it, but at the same time, I just like it.
animation style.
Yeah, the kids these days don't realize how good they have it when it comes to anime in general, but especially Dragon Ball. Like, we got simulcast of Dragon Ball Daima if you had the right streaming service. Like on Crunchyroll, you had simulcast.
These
And-
kids today are spoiled.
So spoiled.
Spoiled.
Y'all don't even know. Like,
We had to wait a week for
No.
20 minutes of yelling.
oh, that's when they started airing it. You remember us when we found out GT was a rumor. because
Mhm.
the internet was not sophisticated enough to, unless you read Japanese, you didn't know
It
jack
was
shit.
Dragon Ball AF. It was Dragon Ball DC. It was Dragon Ball this, that, and it was like, no, it's Grand Tour. No,
Oh, the
just kidding.
rap. You guys got the rap.
Oh my
Actually,
word.
it was thanks to Justin. I actually so
Grand Tour.
I'm gonna be honest, the theme that they got in Canada is worse than the rap. I said it. The reason it's worse is because it's to the same tune as the original Japanese song, but they only put lyrics to like every other verse. It's super weird and it's so bad.
Shala, headshala, the sky's on fire. What?
No,
I never
you
heard
just
that.
have to look up Dragon Ball G Team theme Canada and you'll understand.
Oh, GT theme. My bad. I was joking.
Can you imagine explaining to kids that you had to watch Dragon Ball on a VHS?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've already had this conversation. I had to explain the concept of Blockbuster to my 9-year-old nephew at the time. He's 13 now. But yeah, he asked me, he was like, "Do you have this? Do you have this?" I think Pokemon, he asked me if I had Pokemon Stadium and I said, "No, but I played it a lot when I was a kid." And he was like, "Oh, so you had it?" And I'm like, "No, I rented it all the time." And he was like, "What do you mean?" And then I realized he was not joking. So I'm like, holy crap, how do I explain a video rental store to someone who's never experienced it before in his life? And
Library.
he thought it was, no, he thought it was the dumbest thing he'd ever heard because he just didn't understand. He thinks this technology's always existed. So I'm
Right,
literally,
right.
well, it's a store you go to where you pay a small amount of money, but they let you borrow the game. And he's like, why didn't you just buy the game? And I'm like, well, because it was cheaper, and sometimes you would want to play the game before you committed to buying it because they were expensive. And then he's just like, I don't get it. And I'm like, whatever. You don't have to worry about it now. Now you,
Our parents thought it was a smarter financial decision to rent a game for $5 for a week, and we would go back 10 times a year, or maybe 12. So therefore, you could have bought the damn game for $40 and saved yourself some money.
yeah, pretty well.
This is
Boomers, man.
true, but it still is a psychological trick. I'd much rather see $2 every month or five or whatever than a big lump sum. It just
That's
feels
how
better, even if it's the same.
that's how streaming services make their money. Because you think, oh,
Hmm.
it's only $5, but it's $5 every month for as long as you have it. And hey, as somebody, I love streaming services, but I got to admit, actually, it depends on how you use it. Because if you use it a lot, it is a better deal instead of having to buy the series or rent the series every time or movie every time you want to watch it. But a lot of people are subscribed to multiple streaming services and they use them maybe once a month. That's why I cut off my Hulu, Disney Plus, and Max because I realized I wasn't using them that much. And if there's something I want to watch, I can just pay the monthly fee, watch the thing, and then you know
Ixnay. Yep.
let it go. But yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, like I would imagine it must be hard talking to your nephew about what dethroned, Blockbuster was Netflix. That's mind
Oh,
blowing.
I had to explain to my oldest nephew at one point what Netflix was before the streaming service, and I actually love telling this story because it was one of the times in my life I felt really smart. So in 2006, I took my first like independent contractor job. So when I was in the store and nobody was in there, I could do whatever I wanted because I wasn't being paid by the hour. So I would, I had a portable DVD player and I had Netflix at the time, but the mail subscription. So it was cool. But then I was on there one day and I was like, oh, what do I add to my queue? Because I'm almost out. And then I saw the movie Gandhi. And I'm like, I like history, but then I looked at it and it said watch it didn't even say watch online. It said watch on the internet. And I was like, what?
This is possible?
I'm like, seriously? And I clicked it. I watched Gandhi on my computer and I knew instantly. I said, this is the future.
Heck yeah. And by the way, I'm sure you saw the version with Ben Kingsley. He is so good in that.
Oh, it's a great movie.
Great
Yeah,
movie.
it's a phenomenal movie. It's slow, but it's good. It's very good.
But it's slow in a way that seems historically accurate. Like it
I was gonna
actually does
say, yeah, it feels
well.
like a history movie. I'm not to say it's poorly paced, but it gives everything time to breathe, and I
Yeah, yeah,
like that. Unlike Daima,
absolutely.
where it's like,
He's one of the best actors ever.
yeah, But I was gonna say, unlike Diamond, where it's like on to the next fight. But speaking of on to the next, we have one more ad spot for everybody, especially if you're a fan of hard but more old school rock, not necessarily like screaming death metal. You'll like our friends at Again and Forever. It's got an older vibe, but the music's real good.
Hallelujah, Reverend.
Hallelujah.
Squash.
What's up, Scott? How are you?
Yo. Thanks for joining the stream and the like I see. Yeah, I don't. It was funny. Eric and I were talking. I'm like, I honestly, I don't have that much to say because
I'm just excited for the lore drops that we're gonna get like a multiversal battle at some point. That's gonna be awesome.
I hope so. It will make it all. It will make it all worth it.
Can you imagine if Majin Buu and Majin Buu train like Fat Buu did at one point?
Fuse them.
Oh,
Jake.
yeah,
Dude.
I guarantee you they're gonna be sparring partners for Goku and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Jake, your theory earlier.
it's gotta
What
be.
did they? So what? The Tournament of Power and the whole Super arcs basically introduced the multiverse, and then now they're doing this. And then you said what you said. Man, come on, like that's okay. All right, I'm with you now.
I'm proud.
It's all going to tie in together. That was
I'm
pretty
proud. I'm proud of some of my Dragon Ball theories. I still maintain that Orange Piccolo is Super Namekian God.
That was a creepy Alex Jones moment.
What was?
You coming
Oh.
up with that theory that it's just out of nowhere.
What they want you to understand is that that universe is the one where Zamasu is waiting to kill him and take his body, and he's gonna turn the freaking frogs gay. He went to Namek, turned the water blue, and turned the freaking frogs gay. It was all
Alex,
chemicals.
we call them Namekians.
Oh. That took a minute to get there.
You see what happened to their dicks? They just fell off.
Just
Bring all that water.
Oh,
That was
man.
actually a
Only-
pretty good impression, bro.
Only
Yeah,
this
that was really good.
podcast, only this podcast can make an Alex Jones and Dragon Ball reference work.
Yes. I mean, you would have never thought this, and us three are the perfect examples of this. Who would have ever thought that a bunch of, right-wing people like us would ever come to the point that we enjoy doing anime streams together and take CBD products? Like,
To be
we're
fair,
evolving.
Jake's center.
I was gonna say I'm a moderate and I don't regularly do CBD, but I see your point.
Yeah, like,
Open-minded
that's
individuals.
progress. Yeah, but we still got to do that stream later, doing that one debate, but we'll leave it for another time.
I might just have you on. It's gonna be a minute because I already have interviews lined. I'll just have you on the Arate podcast. We can do whatever we want there because then there's no theme. It's just whatever. So we can have that debate, which would make sense because my first episode ever was kind of a debate about feminism. So I think that'd be a little. It's been over a year, but close enough.
That's
Well,
cool.
and here soon, my availability is going to open up here very soon, probably within the next month. I've been
Sweet.
saying that, but yeah, so that way we can get back in the studio.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
You
As
feeling
much as I-
reinvigorated? Had a little break there, Eric?
No, not really.
yeah.
Oh,
It ain't been a
well,
break. It's been one thing after another here.
It's been, which
Oh,
by the
well-
way, when we get off the
Especially
live, I'll
me
give
and-
you, I'll give you some updates, Eric, after we get off the live here. But like,
Okay.
that sounds good because as much as I'm okay with doing Zoom, it's a totally different vibe when we're in the same room together. It's a lot dumber, but that's more enjoyable.
At some point, we're all going to get together and do,
hell yeah.
everyone in the room thing. We're
Hell
going to do
yeah.
that.
Hell yeah!
And
Plus,
we can
it
bring
makes
the
better
lives and
shorts.
play Cards Against Humanity. We can do all that.
Yeah, we need to. Which, by the
Well,
way,
what we could do is pick a spot in between Indiana and blah and in Texas, and like maybe find a
Yeah.
spot halfway.
yeah. Well, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, Eric, we need to organize a Cards Against Humanity game because this still hasn't been crowned. Had this belt for like 2 years.
I
Just
love that
waiting.
thing. That's so cool.
Yeah. Which actually, Eric, I need to show you something because it's going to be incorporated into our game. I'll be right back. I'm super stoked about this.
Reggie.
So you said you've been going through a lot still, Eric, or were you doing all right?
I'm hanging in there, but
Yeah.
just trying to get disability and other things worked out. But
Oh, really? Hey.
yeah, and then on top of that, dealing with in-laws building their house and just a bunch of fun stuff.
Oh, well.
Crazy kids.
Can you read it? It's a little blurry.
Yeah, I can read it. Well, the Dragon Ball
Cards Against Dragon Ball.
There's such thing?
Oh yeah.
Well, that's cool.
So just an example.
Read a couple.
Yeah, I was gonna say so. The only drag is you'll know that they're Dragon Ball cards because they're orange, but it's whatever. Okay, so one example. Vegeta's guilty pleasure is, that's oddly appropriate, nudes of Bulma in 3D prints.
I believe it. I mean, who can blame him?
The Namekian language is so complex that it has a word for sexting with telepathy skills.
What is that word?
It doesn't
There
say.
isn't one.
Oh, I'm
It's
not
just
too
like Cards
familiar
Against
with.
Humanity.
I played it like once, and I don't really remember all the rules, but I remember it was fun.
It's like, I'm something of a Namekian myself. And then
Bro, but when we get together, you need to bring that because that sounds
I'm going
cool.
to. Well, I'm going to shuffle this into the regular Cards Against Humanity deck, but Chaozu's meditation technique involves visualizing giving kinky beach aid to Vegeta.
Oh my word.
And then finally, I saw this one, I have to read it.
I mean, Dende doesn't have, any hardware down there, so it makes sense.
Slow down. I'm going to spurt.
My balls! They're inert! Master Roshi's secret to a long life is satisfying Chi-Chi's anger by giving her a head.
I mean, I have no doubt that's how she's been.
So that's why she's mad.
I have no doubt that's how she's been able to maintain her sanity while Goku's been dead.
Yeah. And then finally, this is the last one before I bore you. But yes, you can buy this game. It's official. Vegeta's biopic's title would be... that one sucks. I'm not going with that one. After knowing that Frieza is trans.
Oh my word. I mean, come on, let's really think about it. That makes a little bit of sense.
An underappreciated bit in DBZ Abridged is when Dodoria reveals that she's a woman.
Yes.
And I was the most beautiful woman on my planet.
Mr. Dodoria. They only said that in the what was it? The Canadian
Ocean? Oh yeah.
Ocean dub.
Ocean dub.
Mr. Dodoria.
I gotta be honest with you right now, Vegeta. This is sounding really gay. But overall, when it coming back to Daima, overall, I was actually really impressed. I think it's a good way to be able to give us something that will tide us over into later.
Sure.
A lot of people don't understand that kind of style is truly Akira, that comedic, not take itself too seriously style. But we did get the good action and stuff. But so a lot of people are used to the English dub, and it's ruined it for a lot of people. They don't understand, what Dragon Ball is now. But I liked it. I loved the fact that the studios put the time and the work in, and made the animation so much better, and the sound effects, everything. It's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, you should absolutely watch it.
Absolutely.
Crunchyroll, pretty good subscription.
I'm actually in a class act. I'm part of a class action against Crunchyroll. So.
Well, my mistake. I am sorry. And forget I said anything.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to get some fucking money. No, apparently they did have an issue with I can't remember if they sold people's data or if they just didn't have it secure. I can't remember honestly. But
probably both.
Funimation.
Probably both. Well, the thing about them and Funimation was because they merged, and This is some bullshit because Funimation, if you purchased, not rented, if you bought content on the Funimation app, when they integrated with
Yeah, I
Crunchyroll,
remember that.
you didn't get to keep your purchases. And I think that at the very least, give people a credit because that's kind of bullshit.
Oh, that was supremely. People were rightly pissed off about that.
Oh, I agree. And it's like, it's the whole thing because they've been saying for not just them, but they've been saying for so, and listen, as somebody who I love the ability to purchase, which I'm not worried about Amazon doing this, but I love
If you buy
buying
digital
movies.
media, that's on you.
I'm okay with it on Amazon because Amazon's not going anywhere.
Physical media. Physical media.
But physical media degrades and I can't necessarily watch it anywhere in the world.
It does degrade, but at the same time, you can literally put it on something new once it starts to degrade. So it's not a
Right.
big deal.
Yeah. I know. I understand your point. But
Still completely worth it. Plus, they go back and edit these movies now like they've done with Disney and stuff, and they take out
that's
certain scenes
true.
that they don't want. You need the hard copy.
That's true. That's true. And then
That's what
plus the
she
fact
said.
too, well, plus the fact too, there, especially with series that always like TV series that migrate streaming services. Like right now, there's some shows that I love, which thankfully I do own the physical media for this. You can't stream it anywhere. So that's something that you always have to be conscious of, which I mean, you can find anything on the internet, but you know,
I get you.
Daily
Hey guys,
Motion
All right.
doesn't have
y'all can
contract.
keep going. I've got to dip out.
Now we're gonna wrap
Hey.
up anyway. I think I said everything I need to say about Daima.
He's
Go
you
and
can
check
probably
it out,
let him
everyone.
work, don't you?
Check it out.
Yeah, I got to get to work at 9:30. So,
Yep.
Later, bro.
See you, Sosa. Have a good one.
all right. I appreciate y'all. Much love.
See you. So yeah, not to sit in silence.
Silence of the lambs.
It's the sound of silence.
We're not out yet, are we?
No, we're still on.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay. Oh man, that was fun.
It was, yeah, dude. We'll get together. I'm
That,
stoked.
that
Actually,
that game looks good.
oh, this looks hilarious. But integrating it
That's what I
in
meant.
with regular Cards Against Humanity, the possibilities are endless. It's going to be fun. But anyway, thank you everyone for checking out this episode. Wish I'd known earlier. Yeah, we can go back and check out the rest of it. But thank you for enjoying this episode of the Average Intelligence Podcast. Hopefully, you're a little bit less average and a little more intelligent. But tonight, I highly doubt it. But we can all wish. We can all wish for a better world. Check out our
And you don't
sponsors.
even have
Check
to
out
fight a Tamagotchi.
fight a Tamagotchi. Just throw it. Check out our sponsors. Check out the Spur of the Moment podcast. Check out Again and Forever. Listen to their music. It's good shit. And we will see you guys next week. Unless we have to delay for some reason. Next week is very exciting because I actually haven't talked about it on this show yet. Guys, this is a big deal. I may have discovered a Robert Pattinson movie that I like. I have not watched it yet, but I think it's going to be pretty good.
It is.
So at some point this week, we're gonna both watch Mickey 17, and we'll talk about it on Wednesday, our regular night. And
I'm excited
kinda-
for this movie.
I'm really excited for this movie.
It
And
looks so good.
it does. And
It's
and
it's
here's
not
the-
original though.
no, it's
Like
based on a
everyone's saying
book.
it's original.
No, it's based off
no.
of a book.
I'm saying like that there was an ad and there's like, oh, it's original, but they said I was like, okay, so there's a movie actually called Moon with Sam I can't remember. He played in Iron Man 2. He was Tony Stark's rival, not the bad guy, but the other billionaire. What was his name? Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I digress. Bye, everybody.
Well, there you go. Bye. We'll see you guys next week.
See you.